am Ron Charlotte Medrano from SBI E1D, and for today's video, we will talk about the book titled Out of Our Minds, Learning to be Creative by Sir Ken Robinson. But before we start, let me give you a little background about the author. Sir Ken Robinson is an internationally recognized leader in the development of creativity, innovation, and human resources. He has worked with governments in Europe, Asia, and USA with international agencies. He was the central figure in developing a strategy for creative and economic development as a part of the peace process in Northern Ireland, working with the ministers for training, education enterprise, and culture. He was one of the 4 international advisors to the Singapore government for its strategy to become the creative hub of Southeast Asia. Also, Sir Ken Robinson has another book entitled The Element: How Finding Your Passion Changes Everything, was a New York Times bestseller and has been translated into 20 languages. Maybe soon we can also write or have a blog about this book. The book Out of Our Minds talk about why creativity is very important, why it matters so much, and why people think that they are not creative, how people came up with this point. Well, let's start. Creativity is a word we always hear at work, in school, in our community, even everywhere. We can hear and saw the word creativity. It is very important to be creative in any possible way you can, every time and anywhere. But why is it essential to have and promote creativity? Creativity is often thought as a special activities like arts, drawings, advertising, design, or marketing. Sure that all of those were creative, but creativity can also be shown in science, mathematics, teaching, working with people, creating medicine, running a restaurant, and even being a coach can show creativity. This simply shows that creativity is not just enclosed in arts. Creativity is possible whenever we're raising our intelligence. We can also see creativity in business. Different companies are creative in different ways and areas. One of the examples is the famous phone company, the Apple, is famously good at creating new products that have a very catchy features and specs. They show their creativity by launching the products that is new to the people's eyes. Also, another one is Starbucks, the coffee business. Is creative in providing services. Starbucks made their own trademark because of the creativity they have, not just because of their coffee, but also in other desserts they have. And that creativity became their distinct identity that made it famous and successful. This simply shows that everyone has a huge creative capacities inside them. It just needs someone or something to help it out. The only challenge is how to develop the creativity we have. Others believe that creativity in every person is inborn, like having a blue eyes. It will stay as you grow up. But in reality, creativity is within each and every one of us. It is like a topic in a class. At first, you don't know the topic because you've never encountered it at all. But as the discussion starts, you will slowly learn and understand that topic. So does creativity. You need to encounter it first, learn it slowly, step by step, until you learn it and start developing it. As said by Mr. Ken Robinson, when others say they are not creative, it means that they haven't learned what is involved. Many people doesn't know their real talents and capabilities. They have no idea at all what they have inside them and what they can be. All of us is inborn with immense natural talent like creativity, since it has a lot of fields that we need to discover and develop properly. Only few people discover their talents, and even fewer develop their talents properly. Creativity is involved with free expression. Being creative usually associated with playful mind and ideas and having fun, enjoyment and imagination. But it is also about working seriously and in focused way on projects and ideas, shaping them in their best form and examining and scrutinizing it along the way. Honestly, in our life, there is always something new, and creativity is part of it. As time goes by, our world changes. It quickly changes, actually. There are many technologies arising, and these technologies greatly affect how a people think, socialize, works, and relates to his or her surroundings. As our world continues to develop and thrive, there are many challenges that we may face. One of those is being rooted to the old ways and to the old beliefs. Actually, many of us is scared in changes because they feel that change or changes will just ruin or will make things complicated. As a result, many people and organizations are having hard time in coping with the changes, and they feel that they're being left behind. To keep up with the changes, one has to understand the possible good impact it may bring. To meet it, one has to recognize that the power of creativity and imagination is not an option but an essential process. Remember when Tim Berners-Lee developed the original software for the World Wide Web in 1990? His aim was to just help people in their documents. He didn't realize or he didn't saw that it will be a best way to the expansion of internet and that continuous increment of different social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, with their different impacts in this society. The evolution of internet has been made possible not only by innovation and technology, but also by unleashing the imaginations of the people who use it, a way where their creativity was challenged, being noticed, developed, and shared to others. Do you know that one of the main reasons that so many people think that they are not creative is because of education? Others believe that the scale of being creative is being measured by the knowledge and education they have. You know what? Creativity is like a 3D image or object. It has different sides, different features, and different appearance. It does not mean that you are not creative because you don't have the power of knowledge or the proper knowledge and education. Creativity can be learned through observation, experience, and learning from others. Creativity is a multifaceted process. It involves many ordinary abilities and some special skills and techniques. It can be shown in many different ways of thinking and it shows critical judgment as well as imagination, intuition, and often gut feelings. Usually, others believe that children are more creative than adults. Like that others know is that the confidence of those children is slowly fading as years go by, and in some instances, others completely lost it. It is important to know how and why this happens and think of a possible way on how adults rekindle the creativity they've lost. As our technological and economic revolution continue to take place, education globally are being reformed. Excuse me. Most countries have a dual strategy. First, of course, is to increase access to education, the number of students who go to college, and also the number of students who graduate. Second is to raise standards. Education is not a basis of developing one's natural abilities. It should never be and never was. Sure that having education is the key to success. But remember, education is not enclosed in school. It can be learned outside the school. Also, education is not only a preparation for what may come later. It is also helping people engage with the present. Education has three main roles: personal, cultural, and economic. These three should be promoted equally, and understand how they interconnect is the key in transforming education system applicable that has creativity and innovation at its center. Raising academic standard alone will not save or solve the uh, problems our people is facing. To move forward, one needs new understanding of intelligence, ability, and the real nature of creativity. It states there that an intelligence of a human is the capacity for academic activity, but it doesn't mean that academic activity is the whole intelligence. To educate people in the future, one must see through the academic illusion to their real abilities and how these different elements of human capacity enhance rather than detract from each other. Our intelligence and capabilities are more than what we think we have. We just need to discover and develop it properly. If we learn to appreciate our full potential, we will understand the real nature of creativity. All of us have an immense natural capabilities and creativity, but each and every one of us have them differently. If people fails to promote a full sense of one's capabilities through education and training, some of us, oh no, perhaps most of us will never know our full potential, what our capabilities should be. When we talk about full potential, it means that an individual completely understands its range and variety and turn it into reality. This is where the idea of creativity shows a central significance. As you can see, there are many misconceptions about creativity. One is that it is wrongly thought to be solely the domain of special activities and it is inborn. Come to think of this, as mentioned in the book, the author talked about their trip in Las Vegas. He mentioned it for a reason. If you think of it, there is no reason for it to be there. All of the cities around the world have no reasons to be where they are. But in the Philippines, or in any other countries or cities or province, in the Philippines, Manila Bay is a natural harbor that serves the port of Manila, so it is good for trading. Other cities or province like Nueva Ecija, which is the rice granary of the Philippines, is perfect for agriculture, and also the famous Hagdang Palayan. Because of their creativity, people learn how to use and manipulate the resources or the natural geographic place of those and make it better. Imagination is the source of creativity, but these two is completely different to each other. Remember, imagination is the primary gift of human consciousness. The imagination liberates us from our immediate circumstances and hold constant possibility of transforming the present. While creativity is a step further than imagination. And creativity involves doing something. Creativity is not a single power that people simply have. It involves many different mental functions, combination of skills, and personal attributes. Everyone have a creative capacities, but only few knew it and develop it. Others conclude that they are not creative, where in reality, they haven't know, encountered, learned, and practiced what is involved. The capacity of creativity differs to each and every one of us. Remember that. And it holds a constant alternative ways of seeing, thinking, and also doing. Being creative is not always intellectual process. It can be in all areas of consciousness of an individual. It can be on feelings, intuition, imagination, knowledge, practical skills, experience, and also beliefs. Sometimes feelings is the nature or is the source of imagination and creativity. As quoted, feelings are constant dimensions of human consciousness. To be is to feel. A world without feelings would be literally inhuman, and criticisms are focused on those who lack human sensibility. Human cultures are the outcome of human creativity. Even so, creative thinking and also achievement thrive in certain cultural conditions and can be suffocating to others. Human cultures are complex and diverse because human intelligence is in itself both rich and creative. It is interesting feature of cultural change that for a new period of time, new technologies tend to be used to do the same old thing. After all, creativity in everyone is not bad at all. In reality, it helps us to have a better and more accessible world. So, what should leaders do to promote creativity and innovation? There's no single strategy because all creative cultures are unique. If ever there is a process, that is to promote discovering the full sense of people and its potential through education and training in order to develop their capacities well. Creativity is a very wide topic. Always remember that. It is not enclosed in any particular discipline or activity, though when you say creativity, it is actually, or most of us think that it is always associated with arts and design or crafts. Creativity is not always about arts. It can be in different fields, in areas. It can be in mathematics and science. Running a business can also be creative. Creativity is possible in every form and should be promoted throughout the whole education. And as what Socrates said, education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of the vessel. All students have their own different style to learn, and it has different kinds of interest. The whole book can teach us a lot of lessons, and also you'll gain a lot of realizations and knowledge that you can share to everyone. Just always remember, creativity is inside us, and creativity is for everyone. So everyone, that's all, and I hope you've learned a lot from this vlog. So see you next time. Thank you.